and to another belief by the same Spirit, and to another gifts of healing by the same Spirit. And this is key, 10. And to another operations of powers, and to another prophecy, and to another discerning of spirits, and to another kinds of tongues, and to another interpretation of tongues. But one and the same Spirit works in all these, distributing to each one individually as he intends. For as the body is one and has many members, but all the members of that body, being many, are one body, so also is the Messiah. For indeed, one Spirit, we all are immersed into one body, whether Yehudim or Greeks, whether slaves or free, we were all made to drink into one Spirit, one Yah set apart Spirit. Okay. 18. But now Yah has set the members, each one of them, in the body, even as he pleased. And that's verse 18 there. And let's go to 28 through 31 in the same 12. That's 1 Corinthians 12, 28 through 31. I want to read 28. And Yah has appointed these in the assembly, firstly emissaries, secondly prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, and then gifts of healings, helps, ministrations, kinds of tongues. All are emissaries, all are prophets, and all are teachers. That's a question. Are all workers of miracles? So it's saying, are all those emissaries, prophets, teachers, and workers of miracles? Do all the gifts have the gifts of healings? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? But earnestly seek after the better gifts, yet I show you more excellent ways. So do all those, with all those gifts, have the gift of interpret? So all these gifts work together, and just like we're in one body, each has a function. Without, they're not all, what would a body be if all the body was just an eye? It wouldn't have any hands or fingers, couldn't function. Okay, so I want to go to 1 Corinthians 14, but before that, I want to make you aware of Acts 4 and 31, how, let me go back to Acts 4 and 31 real quick. This is a key to getting understanding too. Acts 4 and 31. And when they had prayed, the place where they came together was shaken, and they were all filled with the set apart Spirit, and they spoke the word of Yah with boldness. So that set apart Spirit it will give you what you need to say, and boldly. Okay, but we'll go back to 1 Corinthians 14, and I want to go through the gifts of tongues and prophecy for you here. Okay, verse 2. 1 Corinthians 4, I'm going to read. Pursue love and earnestly seek the spiritual gifts, but rather that you prophesy. For he who is speaking a tongue does not speak to men, but to Yah, for no one understands. But in the Spirit he speaks secrets. So he's speaking to Yah in tongues, and nobody can understand, because he's speaking secrets in the Spirit. So if we read in 2, for he who is speaking a tongue does not speak to men but to Yah, for no one understands. Okay, in 3, but he who is prophesying speaks upbuilding, encouragement, and comfort to men. Okay, and then 4, he who speaking in a tongue builds up himself, but he who is prophesying builds up the assembly. And that's what we want. Because if you have to build up the assembly. That's the body, and that's why we're in. That's why we're giving gifts, so that we can minister to the body and serve Yah. Okay, let me go, because let me go again verse 5. Now I wish you all spoke with tongues, but rather that you might prophesy. For he who is prophesies is greater than he who is speaking with tongues, unless he interprets, so that the assembly might receive upbuilding. So, he who is speaking in tongues builds up himself. He who is prophesying builds up the assembly. So, the one that does speak in tongues should be able to interpret. So the key to this is that tongue no one can understand, but then the Spirit, the set apart Spirit, gives that gift of prophecy so that it could explain to the assembly things that are said so that they could understand. So that because they believe they understand from the Spirit. So, speaking in Spirit secrets, the prophecy, the one that's prophesying will speak to the assembly, and the assembly will understand better. Unless you have the one that is speaking in the tongue has the gift to interpret also. So then it builds up the assembly. Okay? So, let me go over. My scripture there. Okay, 16. And I want to talk through the scriptures, with the scriptures, because I would hate to say anything of my, own understanding unless Yah gives it to me. But now, brothers, this is verse 6. Chapter 14, verse 6. But now, brothers, if I come to you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you unless I speak to you either by revelation or by knowledge or by prophesying or by tongues? So when one comes, they could speak to you in revelations or by knowledge or by prophesying or by tongues. Tongues is a blessing because I give you an example. our leader and teacher, Aki Obadiah, he's given us the wisdom and he's taught us, and I believe that the tongues he's speaking, I know that are from Yah, his set apart Spirit, and he has the gift to interpret them so that we understand, and we, understand Yah's name, who is Yah, understand that Moses knew Yah's name, but Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob didn't know Yah's name. They know Yah as power because El Shaddai means mighty power, and normally people don't understand that stuff. But if you can speak that tongue and then interpret it, then you get understanding, and then it builds up the body. And let me go to, where was I? Oh, okay. Nevertheless, just like this, lifeless instruments like saxophones and different horns, they make sounds, and they are beautiful to hear, but you want them to speak a language, say for instance, you designate a trumpet to make a sound, and only that trumpet can make that sound, and when that sound is made, it's time to go to battle. Okay, so that's just like a tongue, you have to have the gift of interpreting that tongue, because only Yah would be able to, unless you have that gift of interpretation. So also if you do not give speech by the tongue that is clear, how shall it be known what is spoken? For you shall be speaking in the air.